All righty. So, how's everybody doing? I'm Michael McKenzie. I'm a mortgage banker with New American Funding. I'm a banker. I run this group. This group is for everybody that plans on becoming a homeowner in 2022. That's in the Raleigh-Durham area. This week, we're going to talk about how to boost your credit without credit repair, because a lot of people, they want to go through credit repair thinking that they need that to become a homeowner. And really, you don't need credit repair. And the reason why I can say that with confidence, I used to own a credit repair company before I became a banker. I sold my credit repair company because you cannot be a mortgage banker and also have a credit repair company. So I just want to go ahead and give y'all the secrets, the gems, and every week it's going to be a different course on how to help you guys become homeowners, tips, secrets that underwriters, banks don't want you guys to know. I'm going to be telling you guys. All I ask is just that you invite all your friends and family that want to become homeowners, and that you allow my team and I to have the opportunity to do your mortgage loan. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So when it comes to your credit, right, and get your pen and piece of papers as well. So when it comes to your credit, the number one thing, your credit score is based off a credit mix. And I'm actually going to pull up a credit mix here so everybody can see this. Let me just Google a credit mix image here from Google. Boom, perfect. This is my favorite one. Can I blow this one up? Let's see. Then I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. Let's see here. Share screen. Boom. Let's see here. Boom. All right. So you all can see my screen, right? Perfect. The one that you can talk to if you got any questions.
Okay.
But all righty. So for your FICO score, right? It's all about knowing how credit works. That's the number one thing when you're about to buy a house. So 35% of your credit score is your payment history. That's 35%. That's just really paying your bills on time. That's all you got to do is pay your bills on time. The 30% right here, amount owed, or also known as credit utilization, is 30%. You cannot get credit utilization off any student loans, car loans, personal loans, because loans don't have utilization. You don't, pay a loan off and then you can reuse the loan like a credit card. It's a loan. So loans are only really good for payment history. So credit cards is here. So having a credit card is 30% of your credit score. Then you have your new credit. New credit is like, new things that you open up: car loans, credit cards, mortgages, student loans, personal credit. That's just new credit that's been open, like inquiries. Length of credit history. Your age is very important too. So a lot of times people go on the credit repair saying, hey, just delete everything. Well, when you delete everything, that messes up your age. So the older your credit score is, the more like points you can get, because it's like, okay, this person has had credit for years. They understand it. They get it. So a lot of times people go in again in credit repair saying, hey, delete all those medical bills, delete those things that I have paid off. Anything on your personal credit that, was in a collection before, but you paid it off, or it's just on your credit and you paid it off, let it stay up there. It helps because as soon as you delete it, your age goes down. You want to have a old age of credit. Now your credit mix is just like new credit being opened up. New credit means, new credit being open, but your credit mix is like your mixture of, student loans, car loans, personal loans, credit cards, mortgages. So that's just your credit mix. So if you got a good mixture of that 10%, if you got, if you have, installment loans can again be car loans, student loans, personal loans, anything that's a person like a loan for you, that's an installment. Credit cards, that's another good thing. And then you have your mortgage. So right now, a lot of people in this group is probably missing that one last thing to get at 10%, and that's the mortgage. So with credit repair, what they don't tell you, they say, hey, yeah, we can help you get your credit right. The main thing is you want to make sure you have credit cards. If you do not have a credit card, please comment on the video link saying, hey, I need a credit card. I can send you over a link where you can get a secure credit card. You have to put $200 down, but you're not losing the $200. It actually helps go towards, building that credit. And I can see you the formula on how to use it properly. But for right now, you got to have a credit card. And let's say someone says, well, Michael, I already have a credit card. Great. So it's all about knowing the formula of how to use your credit cards. So let's go ahead and get in it. So let's say you have, let's say DeWanda, how many credit cards do you have?
Probably like two.
Okay, two. So you got two. All right. So let's say DeWanda has two, and that's perfect. That's a good starting point. So let's say DeWanda has two credit cards. Let's say a Cap One, and let's say Discover.
Yeah.
And this is the formula that you're supposed to use. So what you want to do, you want to look up all your total limits. So you want to look at your limits for each credit card first. So let's say you got a limit of 1,000 for your Capital One, and let's say you have a limit of 500 for your Discover, right? So a lot of people think, oh, I need to keep my utilization down on each card. No, that's incorrect. It's total utilization for both cards. So what you got to do is you got to figure out your balances first. So let's say, for example, let's say a wrong balance for right now. So the wrong balance will be, let's see, let me go back. Let's see, 500. So this is going to be a wrong balance right here. And I'm going to put a right balance. All righty. So let's say DeWanda owes $800 here. And let's say she owes $400 here. So the rule is to keep your total credit card utilization at 15%, 12 to 15%. I like the 15% rule. It's easier. So what you want to do is you want to add up all your total credit limits. 1,000 plus 500 equals 1,500. Now you want to add up your current balances. So you have 800. So 8 plus 4. And yeah, people, I got to pull out a calculator. So not pick on me at all. So 8 plus 4. I'm a banker. I use a calculator all day. So that's 1,200, right? So now what you're going to do is you want to be at a 15% rule. So you need to say, okay, my limit is 1,500. 1,500 times 15%. What is that? So you do 1,500 times 15%, and you can do this. You do the same formula. That equals 225. So this is how much you need to have as your total running balance. Right now, your total running balance is 1,200. So again, you add up your total credit limits, you times it by 15%, because this is your utilization right here. This is the utilization rule. And whatever that number gives you, you need to keep that as your total running balance. So now you look at your wrong balance and say, okay, I owe $1,200. So now you say, all right, I need to be at 225. So all you do is do 1,200 minus 225, and that gives you a number of 975. So you need to pay back 975. You're going to pay back that. Right? So you need to keep your total running balance at 225. So I know somebody's like, well, how do I do that? From these two cards, since I have a balance of since I have a limit of 1,000 and a limit of 500. So on each card, you always want to owe these credit card companies $112 a piece. You can do a piece on each card. I say do it like that, especially with a 2-card limit, because you don't want to not use one card. You always want to use other banks that you're using these cards. So on each credit card, you want to owe them a running balance of $112.50. So here's the thing. A lot of people say, well, okay, I can do that, but I don't like owing these banks. I like using my credit card and paying it off. Well, when you have a credit card, you never pay it off, ever. All you got to do is follow this rule. You want to not pay your credit card on a whole bunch of days. The rule is always pay your credit card on the due date. So let's say the due date on this card is due date. Let's say it's on the 8th. And let's say this due date is on the 24th. Kobe Bryant, RP. So you're going to pay Capital One on a due date. But remember, you could use as much as you want on this card. Just make sure that you always owe the bank a balance of $112.50. So the trick is you pay it on the due date. So you're like, okay, that's easy. But another thing you got to do, you got to remember, you're going to pay it on the due date. So paying on the 8th, and you wait 8 days after the due date to reuse the card, also known as swiping it. So you wait 8 days. And I know someone's like, well, why do we have to wait 8 days? It's technology. You want to give it time. You want to give the technology time to report the new balances to the bank so the bank can report the new balance to the credit bureaus. So, and that will give you a new credit card utilization. So you do this, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you could reuse your card on the 16th. Okay. So now you have this card, Discover. It's due on the 24th. So the same concept. It's due on the 24th. Pay it on the 24th. Don't pay it on the 23rd. Pay it on the 24th. Make sure you owe them. You owe them $112.50 or whatever that number is. You owe them. So from there, you pay it down to where it shows, hey, you still owe them a balance of $112.50. Then you wait, count to 8 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can't use your card until the 1st. You do this, your credit score is going to jump up about 30, 40 points. I'm not going to lie. I just had one of my real estate investing students, her credit score jumped up 100 points doing this formula, which is pretty great. So this formula can definitely get you to where you need to be at, so you can get some better terms, so you can get approved to buy a house and all that stuff. And you pretty much, again, it's the 15% rule. You add up all your total limits from each credit card, even store credit cards. Add up all your total limits, times it by 15%, and then you add up all your balances. If your balances is higher than the 50%, just pay down your balances to where it's hitting that 15% mark. And again, by doing this, your credit score is going to increase. Now, when it comes to store credit cards, because I know a lot of people don't really use those cards, the trick is you want to use your store cards because they will end up closing them out. The reason why I know, it happened to me. I had a Cage Jewels. When I proposed to my wife, used that for credit, boom, paid it off. It's like, hey, I'm not a real big jewelry guy. And it says closed by grantor. So it kind of gave me a negative impact on my credit with certain banks. Because they're like, hey, they closed it out. Why? What happened? I'm like, hey, I didn't use it. But some banks didn't care. So what I tell people now moving forward, hey, if you have a store card, or if you're going to really get a store card, make sure you use it at least once a quarter. At least once a quarter. Just swipe, use it, pay it off. You can pay your store cards off, but just use them so they don't close them out on you. Okay? So this is the number one way to get your credit score up, because you can buy a house at a 580 or you can buy a house at a 640. With a 580, and we're going to get into that in one of the courses, in one of the weeks, we're going to talk about why you should not buy a house at a 580. But for right now, you can buy a house at a 580 credit score. So let's say you're at a 560, boom, and this gets you to a 590. Hey, guess what? You qualify for an FHA loan. So again, this is the credit card formula that Credit Repair is not going to tell you. So again, write this down, watch this video, ask questions. about what you guys are not understanding, but this is the formula on how you can really get a nice credit score increase without a banker like me doing a rapid rescore that costs the bank money. Sometimes banks charge, they'll end up putting that cost to the borrower. My bank doesn't do that, but I know some other banks that will do that as well for rapid rescores. Going through credit repair, paying like $99 a month, when all you have to do is this. And if your credit repair company, if you are currently in credit repair and they haven't told you to get a credit card or told you to properly pay down your credit cards, they're a disservice to you. And I know a lot of people say, well, I like to pay my credit cards to zero. Here's the thing. We're in America, the greatest country in the world. And America is all about their money. So the banking system and the American credit system, they talk to each other. They're friends. So for example, let's take DeWanda and myself. So let's say DeWanda, she's the person that kept a balance, right? On her credit cards at 225. And I'm the person that pays my credit cards to zero. DeWanda is going to get more of a credit score increase because the banks are saying, hey, DeWanda left a little bit. She left a balance and we can charge her interest because the banks only make money from interest. They don't make money if I paid it zero. So the banks say, hey, since DeWanda left us a balance and we can charge her 6% interest, 10% interest on this 225, we're going to tell the credit bureaus to give her a point increase of 30, 50, 100 points. Versus me, Michael, hey, I pay my stuff to zero. They're gonna be like, hey, just give Michael 2 points. We ain't make no money off of him. He's not showing that he knows how to manage his cards. Even though I'm probably be swiping away. I'm in Louis, Gucci, I'm at Harris Teeter and Wegmans. Right? But they don't see that. They don't see my transactions. On my statement, hey, it shows that I use it, but I'm not letting the bank make money off of me. So this is why credit is super powerful, because you got to leverage the banks. The banks, they don't have no money. Think about it. If everybody put out their monies from the bank today, the banks will go bankrupt. So how do they make money? Off of interest. You leave a balance, they say, hey, we made money off from you, get 50, 100 points. Because the banks, what they do is they gamble with us. They gamble with us. They want us to fail. But you guys have me in here to really teach you. You guys won't fail. Because the thing is, it's all about leveraging your credit to get into the house. Because once your credit score is good, you get better terms on your interest rate. You can possibly qualify for down payment assistance mortgages as well. And terms of your interest rates is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. We're going to get into that in the course as well. So that's pretty much it that I have. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. When it comes to like medical bills, I know people say, well, I got medical bills. My particular banking institution at New American Funding, we do not look at medical bills. We exclude them. We do not care about those. Okay? So if you got medical bills, yes, get them off, especially those medical collections. But here is something that you can do if you do have medical bills and you like know that, hey, you can't pay it immediately. Call your doctor. If you go to a doctor, you got a medical bill. If you go to the emergency room or what's the other one? Urgent care. They all send bills. Contact them and say, hey, do y'all have a financial assistance program? Majority of them do. They're going to ask for your tax returns and your pay stubs. Get them that information so you can get approved for that financial assistance program. And then from there, they're paying your medical bills and you don't have to worry about it hitting your credit. So it's all about communication to making sure your credit is clean. Now, if you owe past credit cards, like they're already in collections, definitely try to, depending on how old they are. So if they're in collections still and it's been years, like 7 years. I know they drop off after 7 years. Don't worry about it. But if they're like recent, like a year or two, set yourself up for some type of payment arrangement with that credit card company. Because banks, like, they don't like to see like, oh wow, they, a new collection of credit card, within under 2 years. When it comes to anything charged off, we exclude those as well. So if you have card charge offs, you can get rid of those on your credit, but my banking institution, we don't care. We exclude all charge offs as well. So again, this formula, this is what it is. So does anybody have any questions for me? Dewana, do you have any questions for me? Oh, hold on. Let me see here. I'm gonna stop share. Yeah, Dewana, do you have any questions for me?
Not at the moment. Just trying to obtain as much knowledge as I can.
Okay. That's great. Okay. So did you understand that credit card formula?
Yeah, I did. But I
Okay.
don't do it like that, but I need to. So I'm gonna thought because my credit last time I checked, I think it was like a 660. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to boot and I done paid everything off. I ain't have a lot. I just had a car and my hospital. I got a hospital bill, a car, and my little credit cards. But I pay my credit cards on time. I done paid the car off. I've been paid the car off for like a year now. And my hospital bills, I'm gonna call and do what you said do. Cause it's just two and it's just $334. But both on $334. But I think I can, set up a payment arrangement so I can go and get those off too.
Okay. Perfect. And another website that you can use to monitor your credit is myfico.com. That's myfico.com. Credit Karma, Experian, all those other websites, they really don't give you your mortgage scores. They're giving you a Vantage score. And all banks, we don't go off of Vantage score. So that's why when like people get their credit pulled by a bank or even a car dealership, they say, hey, that's not my credit score. That's not what Credit Karma says. Each credit score has each like credit type has a different credit score. So for mortgages, you have a mortgage credit score. For car loans, they have different, credit scores for cars, credit cards. So to really monitor your mortgage score, go to myfico.com. It actually will show you your true mortgage score. And I'll put this in the comments as well and in the group of a link to myfico.com. You got to pay like $30 or $40 a month. You can do it where you do the one where they will give you, do the second highest one or the highest one, because the second highest one, that one will give you access to your mortgage score quarterly. The highest one will give you access to your credit score every month. So we got a question here from Lynetta Hodges. She asked, I was told hospital bills aren't supposed to be in your report. It violates HIPAA. All of my medical bills were taken off except my EMS collection. Is that correct? I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know. I really don't know about hospital bills. I really don't know. I just know they are easy to get off. So you could go through credit repair for like just to remove your medical bills. Yeah, so that's I don't know how accurate that is. I just know medical bills are the easiest thing that you can get removed. Any other questions? And any other questions right now? I was Grandma Tish. What's up, Grandma Tish? So DeWanda, well, thank you for being on this call. Grandma Tish, thank you for being on this call. I just asked, hey, if y'all have any friends or family, if you felt like you learned something tonight, definitely invite them to the group, share this group, say, hey, y'all come in and learn. every week at 6:30, we're going to be discussing a new topic on how to become a homeowner. I think next week's topic, it is next week's topic. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. What is next week's topic? Next week we're going to talk about December 15th at 6:30, what is needed to get pre-approved. So
Yes.
in that discussion, we're really going to be talking about, all the documentation you need, why you need it. So we're going to go into that detail as well, because my goal is to make everybody in here bankable, because y'all deserve a house.
Yes.
Okay? All righty. Well, look, everybody, thank you again for coming on this Zoom. Share. If y'all want to talk to me more about anything, feel free to reach out to my team and I. And y'all have a blessed evening. And feel free to contact us about anything. All righty.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
You're welcome.